Good morning, you fucking troglodytes. So, we are literally 24 hours away from the NFL draft by the time this gets uploaded. And it's anybody's guess what the Jaguars are going to do at pick 17. Of course, you can catch my reaction to this. I'll be live with Kid Kong for the whole first round of the NFL draft. We'll go through the picks and have reactions to it and all that shit. So that should be pretty fun. It's already queued, so, we look forward to seeing you guys. But let's talk about what the Jaguars specifically could do. Now, there are a few things that, I'm expecting or that, pretty much if they do kind of what I expect, then I should be okay with. First of all, I'm going to get this out of the way. If we take an offensive or defensive lineman with pick 17, really if we take an offensive or defensive player with any pick before the third round, I'm going to lose my fucking mind. Because it's like, what was the point of signing Mitch Morse? What was the point of signing Eric Armstead? At this point, to add to those positions, I'm fine with drafting a few of those guys, but we have the starters intact. We need depth and to develop some of these guys. We have a severely pressing need at cornerback and receiver. Those should be the picks round 1 and 2. No ifs, ands, buts about it. Now, let's dive in what they could do. Now, there has been talk that Baalke has inquired about moving up in the draft to take one of the big 3 wide receivers between Marvin Harrison Jr., Malik Nabers, or Rome Odunze. I'm personally hope if it's not going to be Harrison, like I said this on Twitter, if it was me, I'd give the fucking Cardinals pick, both first round pick this year, first round pick next year. Zay Jones maybe a day 3 pick or to move up and get Harrison in a heartbeat. That would be so fucking huge for the Jags. To get a guy that's basically going to be a surefire number 1 receiver, because that's what we need. We have a good outside guy with Gabe Davis. We have one of the best slot receivers in the league in Christian Kirk, and Zay Jones just sucks. So, all that's real, and we have a good tight end and a good running and a good complete running back. All that's really missing from the offense is the number 1 receiver, which Harrison easily would fill that void. So I'd be ecstatic for that. Or even if we traded up with one of these teams that are potentially looking to move down and take Rome Odunze, I'd be very happy with that. Or if we don't opt for the trade up, the Jags staying pat and probably taking the next best thing, which would be Brian Thomas Jr., which I'd be happy about. So wouldn't be mad at that at all. He has potential to be, so cool. Another scenario is they could possibly go cornerback at pick 17, which again, I think receiver is the more pressing need, but I wouldn't be mad at it. So, if we get a Terrion Arnold or Nate Wiggins, or what the hell's the other guy's name? The Toledo. Is it Toledo? I don't know, but I think the guy's name is Quadarian Mitchell. And I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but so I'm sorry if I'm not. But yeah, one of those guys. I'd be cool with that, but then I would want, to go after either Ricky Pearsall or Keon Coleman in the second round. Which I was going to do a whole video on Ricky Pearsall, but I think that guy would be a first-round pick if not for him going to Florida. And why I say that is because I'm a Florida Gators fan, as most of you know. Graham Mertz was a very mid-college cornerback, and Billy Napier is one of the biggest fucking idiots of a head coach I've ever seen in my life. So, if he didn't have those 2 factors working against him, Ricky Pearsall, for his skill set, probably could be in the first-round pick conversation, but he's going to go somewhere in the second, and I think that has a lot of potential to be great. And Keon Coleman, I like him at Florida State well. And you got to remember, the last part of the season, he was playing without a starting quarterback. So that could potentially be a steal in the second round. So Either one of those I'm happy about. Or there is one final scenario that I think I saw a while ago, but like now that I've really thought about it, it makes a lot of sense if the Jaguars do this. Brock Bowers, out of the tight end out of Georgia. Hell, I know people are thinking, why the fuck would we do that? We have Evan Ingram. Well, let me explain. Brock Bowers, first of all, is a fucking monster. And he's younger. Evan Ingram, I think, he's either 29 or 30. I can't think of it off the top of my head. He also has 2 years left on his contract. Which, by getting him, you wouldn't have to resign Evan Ingram, and you could possibly trade him. And there's a team below us right now that needs a tight end, and is trying to trade T. Higgins. You see where I'm going with this. So if they take Bowers, that's possible trade ammunition for Cincinnati to pull a deal with Evan Ingram, Zay Jones, probably the second round pick, and we get T. Higgins, and Ingram and goddamn Zay Jones would be complete. I think Evan Ingram might be completely off the books the following year. I'm not sure, but both of them really would be completely off the books, and then it frees up cap. Hopefully, we get a deal done with Cam Robinson, and then that frees up money to give T. Higgins his extension. Or if the trade doesn't work with Cincinnati, they hold on to him and they trade him next year. Like I would say do this with Brandon Aiyuk, but let's be honest, they're not going to. San Francisco isn't going to take any less than the first round pick for Brandon Aiyuk, and they don't need a tight end. They have George Kittle, so there's that. But second round pick, Evan ain't. But hey, we draft Brock Bowers if he falls to us. Zay Jones, Evan Ingram, and the second round pick for T. Higgins. Who the hell says no? Like what? Like how would that be a bad thing for Cincinnati? Because they get a replacement receiver, they get a tight end, and they get more draft capital. So that'd make a lot of sense. We still would need to fill cornerback somehow, but it is what it is. So if any of those draft scenarios were to play out, I'd be very happy. I think what most likely happens, I think they stay at 17 and they just take Brian Thomas. Like I think that's where this is going. I would say they probably stay and take either him or Terry Arnold, depending on how Balky wakes up on the side of the bed that day. Like I think that is the most likely scenario. I'll lose my fucking mind in a good way if it's we get up to either get Odunze or Harrison Jr. I'd be fucking ecstatic. And even the whole Brock Bowers trade for T. Higgins scenario, I'd really be ecstatic about that, because then you get an upgraded because then you get a beast tight end, you get a number one receiver, and we're set. And in a make or break year for Trevor Lawrence, I think he's gonna fucking, as long as we give him what he needs, that he's gonna have a pretty fucking great year, I think. So, anyways, if you guys can come up with another scenario, let me know in the comments. But I think anything I just mentioned is what I think the Jags are doing. But anyway, I guess we'll find out tomorrow. I will see you guys then for our draft show live 7:00. We'll be live on my channel. Comment, pull up, all that shit. So anyways, so that's it. That's all, people. It's been your boy Jagging Off. Go Jags. Duval till I die. Go.